A new likely Bloodline member has signed with WWE. There is a lot of push for Joe Hendry to win the TNA title at tonight's Slammiversary, and a released WWE star has made his first appearance since leaving the company. It's time for the news. The Bloodline once again on SmackDown last night, looking incredibly dominant, truly a force to be reckoned with, and they might just be about to get a little bit more imposing following a report from Fightful Select.
Apparently, WWE sources close to Fightful confirmed that Hikuleo has joined the company, but no start date has been clarified as of yet. This is huge news.
Literally, he's a big boy. He's billed at 6'8", which means he's about 5'4", because it's wrestling. No, he's a big lad. He's a big lad.
He can reach the top shelf for them.
It's a shame Money in the Bank's just being because he's spot on for it. Just reach out anyway. Like he's great. I really like his stuff. I don't watch too much New Japan Pro Wrestling or anything like that, but everything that I've seen of him, he's a really solid hand, and there's something about him, isn't he? He's a big boy, obviously.
Yeah, I think he was always in and around the GOD faction of Bullet Club, and I think it's one of those where they because of his size, he's just naturally quite domineering. So I think they've always put him in this silent enforcer style role. But I want to see more, and I think there's a lot more there. And I think if any storyline, if we're not jumping the gun, and he is indeed going to be part of the Bloodline, if any storyline is going to be able to show a new side to him, it's going to be this. And I'm really excited about what we're potentially going to see from him.
Yeah, for sure. What a great time to be an Anoa'i family member, eh?
Oh, God,
Easy money. I wish I was. They adopt people, don't they?
Yeah, just go start training at Wild Samoan Academy. They work your way up.
You got Manu. They could bring him back.
Manu, you've got, I think, Black Pearl still wrestling.
Black Pearl.
You've got I think Samu still wrestling from the Head Shrinkers.
What, the original like the early 90s?
I think you've got Zilla Fatu, the son of Umaga, who everybody's really excited about because one day he's coming and he's making waves in GCW and he's an absolute unit. So I'm get everybody back.
It's a big old bloodline. Cody Rhodes has his work cut out for him at SummerSlam. Obviously, it looks like Randy Orton, Kevin Owens both been written off of TV. We talked about that a little bit in the first video as well. So Cody no mates. Versus potentially an even bigger Bloodline.
He fights everybody off, and he fights off Manu, and he fights off Hikuleo, he fights off Vertigo Rivera.
Rivera! You're good at this, aren't you? You're very good at this. Tonight is TNA's biggest show in absolutely ages. 4,000 people attending tonight's Slammiversary pay-per-view, and Joe Hendry is in the main event. It's a 6-man elimination match. He's going for the TNA World title. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there is a lot of push to put the title on Hendry, given his regularly appearing on NXT and getting over as a star. He also notes that WWE still haven't used Moose yet, so maybe there's a reason for introducing Joe Hendry, and then he's going to come over with the belt. It puts more eyes on TNA by association, especially if he's there with their world title. I
couldn't think of a person who would be better right now to hold that belt.
Black Pearl.
Really?
No, for sure.
I think, again, we've known Joe before. He's a very hard-working person, but the idea that Joe right now, with all of the eyes on him, it just makes sense, right? It just makes sense that he would be able to take that belt, and he would take it everywhere he went. That he would absolutely maximize any opportunity to talk about, to represent the company, to do what he could with it. And seeing him on NXT with the title as Impact Champion would be quite impactful. He's already impactful as hell. He's already over. People already love him. So just give him the title. I want to see Joe Hendry TNA World Champion. I want to see it.
Yeah, me too. Totally deserved, obviously. Yeah. For me, it's always been, and we talked about this a fair bit, but strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
And Joe is hotter than almost anybody else in pro wrestling right now. Yeah. He really is. Is he at risk of losing some of that popularity if you hold off on putting the belt on him? Joe's a very clever guy, so I imagine he'll certainly keep it up. But he is hot right now.
But yeah, it makes sense just right now to capitalize because he's doing so much press. I mean, he was just on Talk as Jericho. It's as many eyes as there's ever been are on Joe Hendry right now. So I think that you're right. Strike while the iron's hot and work out an interesting story to go along with it, because if anybody's going to be able to carry it, again, it's Joe.
What a moment that's going to be. Yeah. If If it happens, we will see. You can tune in tonight, Slammiversary. WWE news now, just a little note. Natalya, it was recently reported that she re-signed the boat.
The boat.
I hate that name. The
best of all time.
Best of all time, right.
Boat.
Is she? Anyway, I like Natalya. The boat. It was recently reported that she had re-signed with the company after flirting with offers from elsewhere. A little note from The Observer once again. WWE finalised Natalya's new deal just before her contract expired. Sources indicated that WWE recognised the risk of losing her, made a strong offer to retain her. The move was made months ago, though the news surfaced earlier than planned. So to me, like, Natalya is a WWE lifer, isn't she? She was made in WWE.
She's
her whole
been wrestling
career
since she was like 12.
Yeah,
you know,
but
like it's
her whole career legacy is within WWE. I can get why she wouldn't want to go elsewhere. There was a part of me that was like, man, it would be cool if she was in the Owen Hart tournament. How cool
so
would that be?
interested in seeing Natalya elsewhere and seeing what was possible. But at the same time, I think WWE, I mean, if you watch any of their reality TV stuff, you'll notice that Natalya's always training people. Natalya's doing so much more than maybe people realize, and everybody, it's easy to kind of roll your eyes and go, another Natalya match, and whatever. But Natalya has so much worth to WWE as a company beyond, just an in-ring competitor. I think that when her career's done, like in-ring career, I think Natalya is going to be one of the best trainers for women's wrestlers, like if she's not already in the world. Yeah, I think she's going to be the head coach, and I think she's going to be making waves in NXT with the new female talent.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I think she is going to be with WWE until she doesn't want to be in wrestling anymore. Yeah. And she's part of the Hart family, so that'll be never. So
I'd be keen to see her as a producer as well, see what she was doing there. Yeah. But like, it's kind of, it just makes sense to me. It would feel odd, and it would be really exciting to see her again, like in the Owen Hart Invitational. It'd be really exciting to see her, like, just even Impact. I'd like to see her, but it's kind of, it just makes too much sense for her to stay.
Yeah, get the money as well. And a released WWE star making his first appearance since leaving the company. This was a bit of a surprise last night. GCW presenting So High out in Illinois. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name, Sam. Sorbet, Illinois.
Illinois.
Jinder Mahal making his first wrestling appearance since being released from WWE. Big unannounced appearance here. He attacked Effie wearing a mask and then did the vintage wrestling. Pull off the mask. Big pop.
It was me, Effie.
It was me. Oh, you can't do that anymore. And taking to Twitter afterwards, he's now known as Raj Desi, obviously, saying, game changed, history written. He was announced for a Black Label Pro show. He's still going to be there on July 26th, so this was a big surprise appearance. His contract, or his no-compete rather, had only expired the day before, so they certainly struck while the iron was hot with Jinder, and he's looking great.
I think, GCW was somewhere that allowed Matt Cardona to really reinvent himself. GCW is by far the most interesting independent wrestling company in the world right now for me. Okay. And I'm very excited to see what we're going to get from the new Raj Desi.
Yeah, for sure.
Like with, no restrictions on kind of, TV star presentation. I think letting him let loose a bit, it's going to be quite fun.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing it as well. He was also chatting away with Chris Van Vliet, and he spoke about something that we've talked about so much over the years, which is the way that he didn't get the Brock Lesnar match because Brock reportedly didn't want to work with him. So he was saying to Chris Van Vliet, this is just my opinion, there's a lot of misinformation on the internet, and the headline came out, Brock Lesnar refused to work with Jinder. And then he goes on to say, I don't think he refused. I just think he pitched for a match with AJ because stylistically, it's a much better match. Me and Brock are both heels. Who's going to put heat on who? It was going to be a flat match. A really fair point, here. Yeah. It would have just been him suplexing me a bunch of times, maybe Singh Brothers get involved, but the match he had with AJ was phenomenal. No pun intended. So yeah, I don't think it was that he refused to work with me. I just think that Brock has some pull, and he and Paul Heyman probably said, hey, we should talk to Vince, and said, hey, put the match with AJ Styles, which is okay. I have to lose the championship at some point anyway. I had it for 6 months. So you know what? He's totally right in the fact that it would have been heel versus heel. Jinder wasn't going to be like a big babyface underdog in that match. It would have been Suplex City. Well, it was one F5 and you're done.
It was a portion of Brock's career where, unless it was a kind of stylistically clashing matchup, it was largely just suplex F5 done. like that. And it was so paint by numbers that, it's interesting to just hear him kind of be like, yeah, fair play.
And it was cool that Brock was like looking for the better match there as well, because that match of AJ was
just sort of like, assume Brock's just,
yeah. I never felt that. A lot of people got tired of that paint by numbers thing, but to me, Brock's aura is just like unreal.
Oh no, I meant about like people think about his attitude. Like,
okay.
A bit like, just whatever.
Yeah, like he put on an absolute banger with AJ. It was the right call for sure. Anyway, that's it from us. Take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend, and we will see you in a little bit.
Bye bye.